Hello, everybody. Uh, Getting it started in here. Having one quote. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I will read it to you. So happy today. That's today. This morning, I woke up and the energy was so masculine. I mean, it was just crazy. I went through Facebook. I posted a few quotes, a few writings, and also, I put a songs attaching to it because I was hearing the songs that were coming up, the songs that were there, and I was wondering why those songs. It's kind of like within the song because you attach the song to some kind of emotions, but also the song is attached to a collective emotions. Those are not as songs; they're just personal use. Their collective energy. That's why those songs they become hits because the collective likes them, the collective needs them, and it's all. I was looking at it; that it's all connected with this cutting the cords from within you. And today we are going to talk about something more important than cutting cords with other people. Okay, you need to understand that the real piece of art that you do is you. Okay, not somebody else. But if you are attached to something, hi light worker, good morning. Thank you for saying hi in the chat. Thank you for everyone who's watching. I appreciate you guys are here. Hopefully this video is going to help you out. And cutting the cords from within you. But what chords? How you recognize those chords? How you look at it to those chords? How you recognize those chords? That is the hard part. And now, since Mars is moving ahead and we're getting this energy of Aries, could you cut the cords from within that prevent you from your own happiness? Could you prevent the things that you have you recognize from within you that you do to yourself? That is including all area of your life, all your affairs that you have. And when I'm talking about affairs, that is a relationships for it. Lisa, hi, thank you for being here. Jen Hansen, thank you for being here. Copenhagen. Yes, I love that town. I was actually there. I was there for about 6 hours. Love the old town and the bridge and that portions in there. You're walking into this old town to the street, and it's pretty cool. One day I can come back there to stay more, and we'll see gents. Maybe we'll see each other there. I have a lot of plans of traveling. I love traveling. I haven't been travel for a few years, and now I'm like, yeah, scratching myself. It is a good topic, yes, gents. It's a good topic because we pretend that by cutting cords with somebody else, okay, without looking at why we're cutting the cords with somebody else or burn the bridges with somebody else. Thanks a lot, dear. You're more than welcome. Oh yeah. Well, time will comes in. I'll usually make announcements when make a videos about the trips that I'm gonna go, and that's kind of like stood Twin Flames, Lee and Sherry. Good morning. How do I enjoy this thing? Uh, well, I don't know, Lee and Sherry, how you joined us only through the chat. You guys can write, but since this is a live chat and YouTube only, I'm not do it. But you know what, Lee, if you guys can set up something, how about we're gonna do something later on for like maybe right now it's here it's 3. I have a reading to do at later on at 10. Something maybe like within 4 hours from now, Ali, if just wanted, but this is about chat. So usually people put some stuff in a chat and we talk and we communicate. I don't think so that YouTube allowed two people to have on YouTube at the same time unless you're using Zoom or something. And I don't have a Zoom. But Lee, brother, thanks for being here. I would really love your input on this, and maybe we can do a similar session about this later on for the most of the people in the United States because they're sleeping. Okay, but dude, good morning, brother. Thanks for being here. And what I want to talk about here is about courts, courts from within you, courts attached to that you learned things from others, and you attach to this. You know that this is thing, this is that, and this how you allow it. But when you cut cords with people or you burn bridges, we want to talk about here is like you need to understand that when you cut cords with somebody, you cut your portion that you put in them, but you cut it in you, not in the person. Okay, not in the person. And the pain that sometimes you may feel, it's your own pain that you cut yourself. All right. If you cut somebody and that was not the right thing, then maybe you stab the person in the back, but you actually feel it in your heart. And that's what this is to look at the cords from within you that makes you to do this. Okay. This deep inner work from within you. Uh, Okay, very good question, Lee. I like that. I love to do this for it, and we'll talk about the court with my mother. Things that maybe I didn't share before. Okay, very good. I appreciate you get that. Courts, your courts from within you. Okay, the things that you have towards other people, they're actually your energy representations of how you should have connections with other people. When you evolve, you begin to understand some of your inner work here, that inner work from within yourself when you evolve, that some of the things were your own fault, not somebody else. And you cut cords because you didn't understand certain things. Uh, uh, all cords of connection come from birth in life. How do you remove that from your inner knowing? You begin to know this from your inner knowing because when you evolve, you understand your primary connection always been one, that it's with God, not with something else. And if something prevents you with that connections with the universe or God, God has its own way to do this in a good way or in a bad way or in a certain ways because the divine purpose is coming primarily, not your own personal purpose. Josh, thanks for reporting in. I'm glad to have you here. Yeah, we can do it in Zoom. Yes, yes, Lee, let's go do the Zoom. I love to do this. So, Lee, before I answer your questions about my mother, okay, the divine has the power of showing you these things, okay, and down the road you begin to understand certain things why it happens the way they happens, because sometimes people cut cords with you, okay, and those cords once they're cut they cut it, okay, and down the road the damage from that cutting cord will have effects on you, okay, but the cord was cut from them, not from you. All right. And once you understand that the people had their reasons to cut cords with you, what was about you? What was left in you? That was that cord that is energetically attaching you to that pain They cut it with you. But guess what? They cut it for some reason. You understand them, you forgive them, you go ahead and do things, you talk to them, and you solve, you forgive, you do whatever you gotta do. But you haven't done the thing. The healing part of cutting the cord with the memory about this events. Okay, the memory about that, it's within you. That reminds you about this issue. That reminds you about these problems. The universe creates these energies of within you to be more flexible, to go through stretching you out, putting you under pressure, just so you can be liquid within the energy, whatever the energy comes in, you to be within the energy, you to be flowing within the energy that comes in within the universe. And if you attach though to some of the cords from within yourself with the old things, old beliefs, religious issues, your own things, those are the cords that you need to cut. Those are the cords that you need to get off, and that's what this evolution is. Okay, because if you, let's say for example, burn bridge with somebody, well, guess what? This is a bridge. It doesn't matter if you go from the one side of the bridge when you're walking away and then you decide to burn it. Well, guess what? If you decide to go ahead and burn it back, to return back, you can return back. The bridge is burned. Sometimes you have to burn bridges, and you understand why the burning bridges is. It all depends of situations, but did you burn the bridge from within you? Okay, so let me go to this quote and I will answer some questions for healers are spiritual warriors who have found the courage to defeat the darkness of their souls. That's what I'm talking about for it. You to do realize the darkness from within you, and you to go ahead and accept these energies, to accept these parts. But within the universe, you're going to learn to either unite them or cut them from you. This is like you chain yourself with a chain and you want to move forward in life. You won't going to move forward in life. Doesn't matter of situation, doesn't matter of things. Awakening and rising from the depths of their deepest fears. Fears. Here we go. That is one of your cord within yourself. You have a cord with fear. But ever since you begin to be awakened as a twin flames, did you overcome fears? How many things did you overcome with it? How many things? Every time you overcome something, you actually cut that cord from within you. Okay? We're talking about internal cords, not external to others. I'm talking about you. Okay? Awakening and rising from the depths of their deepest fears, like a phoenix rising from the ashes. And that's what the current energy is right now. Mars entering Aries. The new phoenix is born. But the new phoenix has to be born when cut, everything that is old turned to ashes. And this cords from within you, with things that suppressing you or connecting you, or things that it's like this. Somebody's messaging me. Lee just setting something. Cutting cords of accessing them, you get to choose. Yes, exactly, Lee. Thank you so much. And you were born with the wisdom and strength that creates light that shine up brighter enough to help encourage and inspire others out of their own. And that's what this is healing is. You, by showing up yourself, you helping others to do it. So let's go with the questions. Sherry, actually that's Lee. Okay, twin flames, Lee and Sherry. When you cut the cords from your mother, did it change that you were connected to her? Here's the one thing I didn't share. maybe until now. I was born premature. Later on, I spoke with my grandfather, and he told me that my mother was very angry and mad, full of madness, that she got pregnant right away after she had my brother. I'm talking about the difference between my brother and me. It's not even 365 days. And that aggravation, okay, she tried to have an abortion with me. That's how bad it was. But she had a valve replacement in her heart, and they told her you won't survive. We don't even know if you're going to survive. And I share this information only with few people, but now I don't care. I'll share it here with you guys. And that's how it is. And when she had her 7 months pregnancy, by the way, she's got a B positive blood type. I'm a A1 negative. Okay, that's gotta tell you a lot about what the heck has been between me and my mother. And that cutting of a cord from her was causing a lot of issues. The way I was born very. I was breaking up her C-section from the previous year of my brother, and I came into this world like totally crazy. Okay, completely crazy. 9 months later, I was given to my grandparents, and it's how I was raised and born. What I'm trying to tell you here, it's that cord was cut long time before, even when I was in there, that energy cord. Down the years, I forgive my mother. I forgive her. I want to talk, listen from now on. That's how it's going to be. Okay. If you're interested to talk to me and ask me how I am, it's good. But if you came in and give me your bad vibes, your bad energy, and you talk to me about people, what did they do, and how this, and you put all this pressures on me, I won't talk. Okay, that's it. I put the boundaries in there. Uh, I solved this situation from within. I finally found the courage to look at it, my side of the court, my side of the part in me, deep from within. Because the development with the core within universe was more stronger than the development with the core with my mother during my growing up years as a kid. Okay. And this is how things change from within me very early in age. And I was predicting things when I was 4 or 5 years old. People ask me questions because they came in to ask me some questions for specific things, and they were damn very right on the point. I got scared from this. And that was probably things that down the road played a role of developing fear. But when I became as awakened as a twin flame, I understood that that fear has to be overcome. All right. How can that ever be changed inside of your truth? Inside of the truth is when you understand that these situations, like talking about my mother and the court and the relationship with her, you understand down the road that certain things keeps you down, keeps you of who you need to be in the universe, not who you need to be as an attachment. Don't forget about it that every court, either internal or external court connection, it's made it for a purpose. Okay, it is about you. But when you have a purpose that it's far beyond this, it's far beyond this. If you take a look at it, pretty much most of the spiritual people cut a lot of cords. Like it or not, they have to learn to live alone without a lot of things. And you as a twin flame, you're probably carrying a lot of internal cords from within, prevent you to overcome these things. But you find them when you really go dive deep within your personal darkness, because that's what that is. If you want to go up and you're going to look from within, you have to resolve the situations from within your own darkness. Okay. But that's how it helped me to get that inner knowing from the universe, these energies, these positions. Like, okay, creation create connection. If connecting all living things and was on purpose, yes, everything is on purposely. You already know that. Every connections there is in out there, and some of the connections that I have and what I had to give up in order to have these connections. I had to give up a lot of things in me in order to get the things that I am. And that is a huge part of let it go, guys. That is a lot of part of let it go. Hill, thank you for being here. Hessa, hey, thanks for the chat today on the Facebook. Um, uh, Helen, hello, dear. Very interesting insights on the topic. I appreciate your wisdom. Thanks, Helen. I appreciate that you are here. Dear, nothing about your energy was ever to be aborted. I don't know about the energy. I don't know that sometimes it wasn't about this. It was about, I always look at it somewhere else up. Maybe that's what my mom had to do, the thing, so I will look up. I begin to understand that the divine purpose of this was more than the relationship with my mother. The relationship with the divine early in the age of when I was developed as a kid, or sitting on that tree at night and watching the stars during the summer. I understood that back then there was something more meaningful. There was something more out there. Okay, there was always something that I didn't understood back then. I felt vibrations in the universe and stars, and I was like, I mean, the view back then of that town, it's because we were kind of like in the top. You see all the town below, but you also see the magnificent stars in there, and it was pretty good actually. And some days you understand why the things they were the way they were. Otherwise, you won't be where you are today. And that's what this is. Okay. Um, there is always the things that you will come up at some point, but you overcome things. They are. And by you showing up your things, do it for yourself, you feel more connected to yourself than the disconnect. Like when you are more and more connected to yourself, you begin to understand more things that happens the way it happens. Even now, today, I got some, everybody has a family issues. All right. But you begin to look at those issues on different positions now. You got to evolve of new connections, new things that they are from within. Okay, Lee, belief system will be arise from this, that a woman you are connected to won't want you or need you in her life. This will affect you all with your twin flame. A belief system will arise from this, that the woman you are connected to wouldn't want you or need you in her life. Belief system, okay? There is a difference between a belief system and it's a difference when I know what you're talking about, Lee, but there is a difference between putting yourself out there, and you present this and then you present that, and you create duality from with this. That helped me these connections to understand more than I understood now for it, because if you say you're a good person and you prove that you are not, now there is two different things coming together. And now there is no belief system, there is action speaking louder than words. And the difference between a connection and a connections with, we're talking about the belief system and or recording chords with my mother or connecting my relationship because of my mother. There is a connection in there. Okay, that's what there is. So you can understand much better what happened in there. So when I look at it through these issues, I was able to find what the other issues is and why the cord was cut, not only from my mother's side, but also from mine. Okay, and that's what it was the purpose to look. Now that this connection to this person, they have to look at this experience on the mirror side within them. They have to figure out why do they cut cords with people. Okay, why did they do this? Okay, because they didn't look that the cord that they cut with others is actually the cord from within themselves, and that's what we are talking about here. Okay, everyone to look, they always look at it, the cords towards others, your connections with others. How about the connections with your own self? Okay, and the people getting angry when you point them out these issues they have within. Okay, you point them out and they get mad. Instead of getting mad, they have to say thank you. I will look into it, what that is, because I'm not doing this for the first time. And that's what is. But when you show off as pointing fingers instead of telling the things, and they don't accept it 1, 2, or 3 times, then the fourth time they take it as a personal attack. And that's what another core there is. You're protecting yourself instead of understanding in yourself. And here is that healing part as a healer from within you, is you have to heal this within yourself, and not that somebody else. That's got something to do with you. You acting in a certain way towards other people. Why? Where is the reason? The other people, you're always blaming the others, so you're going to be looking within yourself. And that's what we're talking about, this inner chords. So you can have this internal warrior energy that it's right now, it's present as Mars is entering Aries. Is I want to be this new warrior from within to look at my own pitfalls, my own downfalls, my own things. And that's what that is. How did this helps in the twin flame? A lot. Let me explain what that's mean, how this helps within the twin flame. Okay, you looking at these connections, and during the process, Lee, you know very specifically that until you don't cut the old habits, your addictions, your old beliefs, those are cords from within you. Did you ever had a chance, if you didn't cut that stuff, to be in union with Sherry? That's what I'm talking about here. You did the inner work, so she did her inner work. Okay, and that's what this is. We're talking about this part of inner work that you bolt out to look at whatever cases that might be. And a lot of the people, they have some sort of things they need to do. I mean, some people, I've been talking to, they have, um, it could be emotional or physical abuse or some kind of addictions, like maybe addictions to alcohol or drugs or addictions to certain type of things that they do, like habits or something. Um, that's what we're talking about here. You to recognize these things, they're not good for you, and you cut that cord from within you. That is the part of self-evolution, Lee. Okay, and CJ, a question will be this: it is normal to be overwhelmed with grieving energy. Grief, grief is the energy of love that has no point to go. Usually, the grieving process is if you lost someone. When you really lost someone in some kind of level, it could be emotional, spiritual, energetic level. That's what the grief is. But the grief is actually speaking for the highest level of love. For and then the way you let go of the grief is you understand that love has the only place can go it's within universe, or come back and focus into your love within the present from within you. That grief begins to dissolve from it because it was attached. You had attachment to that missing part. If you look at it within you, the missing part is you have the connection there, but also there was a grief from within that you have a disconnection from within yourself. I think you're getting it now, CJ. I know you're getting it. So, all right. The sadness and confusion of my inner child, and this how influence each connections to I had, including point twin flame. Inner child. Um, you know, I will hear say this again that when you evolve, when you was an inner child, what was the thing that was kind of like a guide you back then when you were inner child? Your inner spiritual child was the one from within you. I had a very strong power with this inner spiritual child as a kid, and that's what helped me to get into this back in the days. Now, when I look at it, uh, you right now a grown person, and your soul, your spirituality growth, but you feeling these cords in tied to your childhood. They're unhealed traumas, they are unhealed things, and they affect your twin flames relationships now. So as I stated a long time ago, I maybe like 3 4 years, I made the drawing board, how you come back, how you fix all this. It's another video that I made. You actually go down there, but you go in and you find that you also have a spiritual inner child. And now when you heal the inner child by using your spirit, actually go back as a spiritual child in time, and you heal this. And then it becomes helping you to heal the connection with the twin flame. But they have to do this in their way. If they don't do it, then guess what? That's their problem. Okay, not your problem. It is not your problem. All right. Um, I mean, that's what this is. Okay, twin flame Sherry. Does grief come from hiding and deeply instead of letting go deeply? Grief. The grief is something that you feel because of two positions. Very good questions, by the way. I like the questions, they're very good. The grief comes in when, for example, when somebody put a picture within yourself of what will be, what it's going to be, how it's going to be. For example, you sit down and made a picture with your twin flame. It's like, we're gonna get this house. We just gonna do this, and let's go work on it. Let's go look at the houses, or let's go do this business, or let's go do this and this and that. and you have this picture of success. So you put in that energy, you put in this, they put in it together, they put in it, and all of a sudden, because one person or the other, they have an issue, or there was a third party situation. Third party situation, that is a third person who interfere within the relationship or within that energy. That could be a family member of either side, that could be a parent from the other side, that also could be a religious belief on the other side, or something. Okay, there is a third energy. That's not the universe. Universe puts you together, is supporting you to build your thing. Okay, I'm talking about really, third personality that is there, or could be anything. So now there is this breaking down connection, and now you're grieving for everything that you and your twin flame built this energy of love. You build this thing. Now you're grieving for this. Okay, that's what the grief is, because that love, it was there, but now it's this disconnection, and it's love with a place that can now go. Okay. Uh, uh, um, Let me see, what was that? Deeply come from holding on deeply instead of letting go deeply. Letting go of this energy, okay? You have to transmute it. You have to look, what did you dream there, okay? What did you dream to build? And you go ahead and take that energy and build it. All right, not the other person. The other person, if they want to participate, if they haven't done the inner work, if they give up on your collective dreams, that is their problem. The question is you do not give up. The movie, The Notebook, they had a dream together, okay, and he pictured to her, that white house that he's going to build, and that things he's gonna make, okay. They have these dreams about it, and guess what happened? He built a house, he built everything, and guess what? The universe present the news that there is this guy, he built this white house, and he made that promise, okay. So what did she did? She fainted. Why? She fainted because she understood that energy, when they built their dream together as a twin flame, was his. All right. But he had to cut the cords from within about this so he can heal. And we're talking about healing after separation with your twin flame. Okay. So you get that dream for you. That was your energy in that dream. That was your things in that dreams. Okay. That's what this is. And I hope you guys understand it. Okay. Let's see. Glad to know I'm not the only one. Josh, we're all on the same boat, buddy. It's been kind of like a mantra of mine for it, because I trust the universe more than anything in this life. My 20th year as dry alcoholic, it's coming up. So all this trauma healing involving suffering is really something. Gents, yes. When you get off of your things, you begin to heal. It's sometimes you have to heal no matter what. You have to get up no matter what. You have to do things no matter what. And when you understand your internal warrior, this energy of warrior from within, that it lives in you and tells you these things, your internal warrior is actually the one that says, hey, look at yourself. Hmm? Do you always want to live like this? How about you change? I'll help you. Get the strength within you. And now the warrior asks you, cut the cord with us. You go ahead and cut it, and you make conscious decision that you're going to improve and heal yourself. And that's what this part is, to heal you. Because if you don't heal you, you're going to go to your twin flame unhealed. And guess what's going to happen when you go unhealed? You're going to have separation, then you're going to look for a ways. What was the ways? Go back and heal yourself. You might go to a teacher, you might go to astrologer, you might go to twin flame coach like Lee. And guess what? All they're going to tell you, all the answers is from within you. You have to do your inner work to heal. One way or another. You ain't going to end up any other place. And guess what? When you go back from within, you're like, what I'm going to do? Look at yourself. Go face the mirror. You. Go look at your connection. Go look at your understanding about life. Go read the book. Go learn human behaviors. Go relearn maybe ethics, public ethics, or whatever you gotta do. Okay. And all of a sudden, the warrior from within you is gonna tell you, there you go, bingo, you got this part. And you go back to these coaches, it's like, dude, I figured out what it was. It was this, it was that, and things like this. And the coach is just looking, it's like, yeah, I knew it was, but I couldn't tell you. And you're like, what? Yeah, because if I tell you what it is, you're going to take it like a personal attack. But that is the ego, okay? Ego in you. All right? A lot of the time, we take in things personally. Okay? I stated a long time ago, used the thing, it's called Q-tip. Q-tip is a manufacturer company about cotton swabs that, we make cleaning things where you clean up your ears, which is not preferable, but it states for one thing: quit taking it personally. That is the quick tip for you. Okay, so that's what this is. It is about you to look, because it's the end of that cycle right now. What are you gonna ending from within you? I make these videos together with the present astrology energy that exists. Okay, that's what we are matching now. We are matching these daily chats with the energy that it presents. So that way we can go with the flow. You're flexible, good, you understand things. And that's what we're doing here with this chat. Any more questions you guys have? I'll be happy to answer. Lee, thank you for so much for all the questions, and I love you, my brother. Okay, we'll see when I come to the States. Maybe we'll do something together there. Okay. Maria Richards, hey, thank you for being here. I did go to Lee and share your idea. That's exactly what they had me do. It is taking a few years, but I'm grateful I canceled for sure. Yes, CJ. And that's what they said. The greatest coach is going to send you back to you. And Sharon or Lee, they know how to coach. They know how to say things. Okay? They do. So I sent some also clients to them. Okay? But we got to look at it that sometimes the things present to ourselves maybe are not the way they are. And the reason is that if somebody tells you something, can you believe on that something? You think that something turned out to be a totally different story, then that is the problem right there. And that is what you need to learn, to be truthful to your own self. Don't lie to yourself. God bless you. Don't lie to yourself. Okay? Don't lie to yourself that you don't have a dark energy, so dark things in you. No, you do. You're just hiding them in a front mask. Okay? I have dark things in me. Go ahead and lie to me or cheat on me, or you don't tell me a truth, or go ahead and try to put my light down, and guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to see another side of you. Okay? What was that? The angel of what was that angel that was always warrior? I forgot his name. The man, it's not only a Michael, but there was a specific angel that I can't just kind of like get in my the names of it. And that angel that comes out, it's like, yeah, right, no truth, oh, no this, no that, you're gonna get it, and all that's what this is. And you need to understand that divine has this energies around you that they protect you, they get into you, and sometimes this energy will come out. Okay. Yes, your both the root and the soil. Your ability to grow is more to a soil, CJ. There you uh, reconnections is only disconnect found. Uh, reconnection, reconciliation, erase something. It's to redo, rethink, reestablish, remate, for. And in order you to redo something, you have to disconnect from something. And in the power of disconnections, you value your connection. Okay. I think that's what Lee has in mind as energy to be represented here. And we experience sometimes things like this. But when some portions, okay, when something happens, somebody comes in and disconnect all of a sudden from you, like out of the middle of nowhere, and you kind of like don't expecting it, you will find that the disconnect was not towards you. The disconnect was within themselves. And then why you getting mad they disconnect with you when they were disconnected from their own self? Okay, you're gonna get mad if you happens for the first time in you and you don't know what's going on. You're going to get mad. Oh yeah, you will. But even through that disconnect, you will actually figure the things out why this person is disconnected. But when you find out what this person is disconnect, then you understand more and more and more, and then you begin to reconnect. But the question is, you're gonna reconnect from within you first, and the other person, okay, your twin flame, your soulmate, or whatever the reason is, they have to understand why they act like this, why they are disconnect from themselves. And that's what Lee wants to say, that within the disconnect, we find the reconnect. When you disconnect from your ego, you reconnect to your soul. When you disconnect your soul, you reconnect to your ego. Okay, that's what that goes. And that's what I believe. Sherry, yes, Sherry. Sherry's been in my mind. Okay, let me tell you, probably we need to send a little energy here towards Sherry to heal. I felt that sickness of her when they were in Chicago. I know how painful that is, and we talk about with Lee and Sherry afterwards. And take a minute, kind of like get a little picture of Sherry and put your hands up and kind of like give a little love towards that picture and give her a love energy so she can be okay. All right. I know she loves me. I know she wanted me to stay over to you guys and stay there forever. She was ready to give me the room in the house. I know. Yeah, I can, I was supposed to share it with Blue. I know Blue passed away, but damn, I love that bunny when I hug him. Okay. So, guys, if you have some any more questions, go ahead and answer. Talk more about it. But here is a one thing I wanted to tell you today. It is if you're in an environment that's toxic, or you have a toxic environment around you, cut, recognize this and cut it. If you have any situations that you are for it, maybe you get used to it, to these situations. Go ahead and look at it within, and look at within your soul. What can you do to change it? That is another cord that is attached. If you have a codependency issues, okay, codependency, somebody has to love me, otherwise I don't feel loved. That is another energetic cord from within you that creates a lot of problems from within yourself. When you love someone, you have to tell them, I don't love you for whatever reason. Telling this to yourself, okay? I love you because I don't know why I love you, okay? I had to cut that cord long time ago. Long time ago, I figured out that I was depending on someone to make me happy, until I learned that I have to love myself before I love somebody else. Okay? So take a look at it and these issues from within, to get onto it. Another things that you may have to look from within is your perceptions about the 3D. Okay? Why you want certain things on the 3D? Because if you want certain things in the 3D, that is your attachments. Reevaluate your dreams that you want to have in the 3D. Are they really for your soul, or are they just to pleasing everyone is around you, or they are coming from your ego just to show off to others? Very, very bad chord in there, to show off you're successful because to show yourself to others. Look at me, who I am. People will accept you who you are, the way you are. And you do that, guess what? You're not gonna cut crap, and you're gonna have no filter, and then you don't have to worry about other people's opinion. You're gonna live happy on that part. But if you stress yourself out what the other people will think, or for example, what my parents will say, or what my friends will say, oh, you give them the power of them to over you. Are you a twin flame, or you're what? Okay, twin flame, we have to go against all odds. Twin flame is the warrior, is the burner, burns everything. Cords from within. That's what you have to start with, to burn the cords from within. Josh, and another question is, let's say you are in a household that it's not suited for you and you can't financially get a way out. What will be the advice? Surrender and work on the courts. All right, so here is Josh. First of all, let's go deep into that situation. Okay, let's say, Josh, you're in a household that's not suited for you. Okay, why the house is not suited to you? How do you recognize it's not suited to you? What makes you it's not suited to you? Okay, and if you don't like that this is not suited to you, you have to, guess what, cut the cord with that, grow up, which is your internal warrior from within you, and go create that place that it's going to suit you. Okay, sometimes we think that big house and big things can help us out, or different things. Let me tell you, one room that's got a bed and has a kitchen table and the most things in the kitchen and things like this, and bunch of food, a refrigerator and a bathroom back there. You got your basic needs. Everything that you need more than your basic needs, then that's gluttony to me. Okay. Um, and if you can't financially get out of your way, okay. So financially can get out of the way. Financially, who determinate how much money would you like? You. Today I spoke with one teacher and he was like, a lot of people here in Bulgaria, they complains about there is no job, there is no money. He's like, here's me. I'm a full-time teacher and I'm working here in the bar and I'm okay. But the warrior in him speaking about that, he finds the solutions. A lot of us, we don't realize that the solution is what within, but we hold on to what we have. Usually, we hold on to our comfort zone and we're expecting somebody else to bring the things to us instead of we getting off lazy ass, which is we need to recognize first of all we are lazy ass, cut that cord with the laziness from within and get to work. Because guess what? You go to work, you make the money, you make your dreams, you make everything else in your life. The bread, it's gonna be perfectly tasting you. The food you put in on that table from your own actions of you getting yourself, it's gonna be different. The energy is gonna be different. That's what their secret is. That's the reward after you get into these things. All right. And surrender. Here it is to surrender to the divinity, help you to grow is one thing. But surrender, I'm like this, I'm not going to do inner work. You surrender to the laziness from within. You surrender your dreams. And that's what a lot of the twin flames that you see them there, they don't have the light anymore with them, is because they surrender to, they give up on their dreams. They give up on everything. Because of what? That something keeps them down, their own beliefs, their own energies, their own things that they're telling to themselves. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Sending love and connecting to you. Thank you, Lee. Um, good one, Josh. What about overcoming self-doubt? Is leaving your comfort zone enough? Leaving your comfort zone is won't be enough. You have to also look at it. Are you telling negative things to your own self? That's what I said. Don't lie to yourself, because when you lie to yourself, you lie to others. Specifically, if you tell two different things to your own self, like for example, yeah, I know that I need to go get a job. I need to break this cycle, or I need to go ahead and break this pattern in me. And guess what? You get up in the next day and it's like, no, I'm not going to do it now. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the day after. Right now is not the moment. Right now is not the right time. And then 6 months passed. You're in the same place. Why? Because you contradict yourself, your self progress. You have to learn to take one firm positions and stick to it. Okay? That is another cord that you have to look from within. Don't tell it to two things to yourself. Do you ever do energetic reminders of your catalytic's partner? Catalytic's partner, they just a spark coming in and get you. I haven't filled that catalytic partner many years ago. That was the point that things came off, and right now it's like I won't, you guys watching the past few videos and the days, and I spoke with you about when you cross a line, you can't just go back into it, and when you cross. The only person who's gonna be getting you there is someone the divine is gonna bring uh, for it. So if you have left energetic cord, for example, if you have in a twin flame, or you're in a twin flame dynamic, or you're in a soulmate with a higher purpose thing, however you want to name that, but you have attachment to something in the past that you hold on, you ain't moving forward. So if you have purpose, divine purpose with someone right now, and you hold on to the catalyst who's never done anything for you, guess what? It's stopping you. And recognizing this stop from within you, you learn to let it go of this because it doesn't have a purpose. Okay? It doesn't have a purpose. Never was having a purpose, pretty much, unless the only purpose is waking you up, giving you a chance, or that was a missed opportunity, maybe next lives. But it's the current present moment, what is the situation said? And that's for this. How you cut cords. See, Jay, how you cutting cords is, I stated that 4 or 5 years ago. You don't cut a cords with others unless the divine is present within you. That is the ultimate forgiveness, ultimate let it go. But cutting cords from within, you recognize your crap, you recognize your downfalls, you recognize your things from within, and through self-realization, you do your inner work. That's how you cut. So, for example, if you go ahead and have some kind of, you want to kick a habit or kick any addictions, okay, you recognize these addictions is not good for you. You go ahead and what I need to do to quit addiction or addiction help or something, you find information. You're reading now that to overcome an addiction, you have to pass 21 days not doing it. That is the first thing they're telling you. But you're also looking at that you have to make a commitment to yourself. So guess what? The commitment is not to do it anymore. And by you making a commitment to your own self, in the front of your own self, you cut that cord from within. That's how you cut cord. Cord with people, okay, if that's not a benefit to you, you bring that person with between you up in a spiritual realm, under the universe realm with the universe, and it's like, it's up to universe what you want to do with this, and you let it go. That's how you let go to the divine. They know how to cut connection. They know. Okay. Sometimes this connection, it's called karma payback time. Either one or the other, or the both people, they're just gonna be totally crapped out until they figure out, okay, we'll give up to the divine and we're gonna come together, known as the divine time. Okay, because when the divine cuts the divine connections between two people, the divine is watching them what they do. Okay, he's watching them. What do? Are you truth? Are you honest? Are you changed? Okay, if you're changed, guess what? I reconnect with you. There you go. Heal. You, what do? Oh, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're doing this, and you lie, oh, you cheat. Oh, stay there and learn. I won't talk to you. Stay there and learn. That's where you disconnect. You're not true to me. You're not honest to me. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Guilty. The guilt. Okay. Guilt that comes from the soul. Knows the things, understand the things, and not doing the things. That's the guilt. Okay. Yes, people who love you will always love you no matter what. Yes, you can't prevent people to love you. They want to love you, that's their choice. They love you. You gotta be happy for this. Same way as you. You love some people, you love them. That's how it is. It goes that way. Okay? It goes that way. Um, there is so few TF who come together or do the inner work or both house. Did the divine intended for each TF always to work out so few times? It's meant to be difficult. Faster roll asking this question. There is a few TF who come together all to the inner work of both hands. There is something with kind of like confusing energy with that question. I need to look at it more. There is a few TF who come together. So that's a statement. There is a few. Or to the inner work on the both halves. Faster roll, can you rewrite that question for me? There is a lot of mixed up energy because one is a statement and then do the inner work on the both halves. The inner work on the both halves. The both halves push their buttons, and sometimes those buttons can be very much I'm pushing your button because I have to work on myself, or I push your buttons because I see what you need to do, or I push your buttons because I'm afraid of this. Could be so many. Gotta find the reason for it. But if they come together before pushing the button, they will push the buttons. That's what this is for, the connection. It's always connection, disconnection, and then disconnection, you find how to reconnect. As long as you are true. We talk about this truth. The divine knows the truth. That's what it's called, divine time. When divine time knows is the truth, and that's how that goes. Did the divine intended for it, ascension, always to work out so few times? The divine intention is to be more happy than you want. We spoke about this yesterday, that the divine wants you to be more happy than you do. You guys don't have any idea that when they see you happy here on this three-dimensional toxic, miserable world, but you create this powerful love energy, same as it's up there. And guess what? You create so much happiness, not only here, down here, you also create it up here. Wherever it's down, it's the same as up. That's what the spiritual guides helping you. That's how the divine is helping you. You to be happy so they can be happy, your higher self to be happy. I have no words for this, how to explain it to you guys. But why you are not happy? Something weighs you down, something internally from within, some cords from within yourself. You need to cut it out. Noah, hi. Thanks, Noah, for being here. Appreciate it. Noah, guys in the house. Let's see. Light rocker throat, same. Always to work out so few times. It is meant to be difficult. Yeah, it is difficult because of this veil that we have of not remembering everything. This veil of relearning the things, unlearn things, and relearn things, unlearn things, and relearn things. That has no end. Okay, it's like learning has no end, and the more you understand, you learn things. The more you understand, you don't know, great. It's like not enough. It's like, okay, I comprehend, I get this, I do this, but I don't understand this, right? And that's what is difficult. Difficult is to be at the present moment, and whatever the present is going on, that's what you focus on it. You work on that, and then there is another present thing comes in. Okay, all right. Present is also a time, but present, somebody gives you something in the present. You always are given a lesson in the present. That's what the present is, the lesson. Okay, I know you guys are sick of it, the lessons, so do I, but that's how it goes. That's what is difficult. But within the present, okay, you unwrap something. After you get it, whatever you did, that's what you're gonna get. Happiness, or maybe sometimes somebody gifts you something as a present. You open up, you didn't like that. Why? Why did you not like it? Because your ego wanted something else, right? But what happened when somebody gifts you something? You open it up, that present, and it's exactly the same thing. You are going nuts for it. How about you giving a present to your own self? You to be happy. The presents that you never had, the things that you never got for you. Okay? If you dream that somebody, for example, if you're a female, somebody is going to buy you this fancy dress or this red dress, okay? Guess what? Go buy that dress by yourself. Make yourself happy. You learning unconditional love to yourself, not to depend on somebody to buy it for you. The codependency creates a lot of issues here. You unwrap something, nicely said. Yes, Maria, thank you. Why do the TF exist and mean to show unconditional love to the world? Yeah, they make it so difficult for TF to ascend, be able to show love for the world. I mean, first of all, take a look at life. Take a look at it. The divorce ratio is like maybe close to 60%. Broken families, toxic families, relationships. It's kind of like a high rise. A lot of wounded kids, they grow up, and we have this reality that we are right now because of certain things. And guess what? The TFs are here to go back to the basics, to the proper basics. What I mean by the proper basic is listen your soul. I mean, things like respect, things like honor, things like cooperation, mutual agreements, keep to words. I mean, those are the basic behaviors. But now we bring them on another level. We bring them into a soul level where they're coming from, where they're supposed to be controlling yourself within the soul. But how you controlling yourself within the soul? With your personal relationship to God, to the universe. Okay? That's what it is. You understand at some point your kids are not your kids. I'm telling you from now on, if you think your kids, you're screwed up. Your kids, you just give them the body. The soul has nothing to do with you. Their connection with divine is none of your damn business. None. That's it. If they have attachment to you, guess what? They're dependent on you. Why they're dependent on you? Because codependency will lead them to nothing good in life. Why you teaching your kids? You teach them up to be independent in life. You teach them. You teach them how they to work. You teach them with finances. You teach them how to cook, how to sew or saw things, or how to repair things. You give them things. Do they learn from you? No. They want to be indulged. Everything they have to receive. Somebody that brings. And guess what? You've grown up and now you're expecting your twin flame to bring you things. Are you give things? If somebody never taught you how you to give things, would you be able to give within a core relationship? Partnership is give and take equality, not things for it. Margaret, thank you. So, okay, well, it's kind of like smoking time for me. So if you guys have any more questions, I will smoke my usual cigarette with you guys, because that's kind of goes. I like when I have a cigarette with you guys. Kind of like help me out not to smoke on my own. Kind of like good of this. And if you got any more questions, I'm ready to answer it. I don't know, Lee, if you're here, let's set it up. This thing to have a connections together and do a Zoom together, and we'll post it. Interesting. I appreciate the thoughtful answers. You're welcome, Fastero. I think this reading, I want to read now the whole time here for you guys before I smoke the cigarette. Healers are spiritual warriors who have found the courage to defeat the darkness of their soul, awakening and rising from the depths of their deepest fears, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, reborn with the wisdom and strength that creates a light that shines bright enough to help, encourage, and inspire others out of their own darkness. Melanie Coloris. And that's what this is for it. That was that part. You need to find your own darkness, your own self-sabotage in you. Have you ever blamed somebody because you fear that there was something was trigger inside of you? Have you ever looked to that trigger from within? That triggers those are something that I don't like, or I don't want, or you may be hateful to this. You need to understand that this is your triggers. You need to work on it. One of the triggers that I want you to look, we already talked about this, okay, that link it is with your childhood and understanding the no. Okay, because if somebody told you no, you threw in a tantrums, and now that leads you that if somebody doesn't tell you no because of something in them, they see why that is no. Okay, because you may be lacking the understanding of the no, but that also has a connections within you, your link, your cord with that from within you, the acceptance. What do you have of this? Lee, yes, we can do that soon, my man. I accept the darkness the same as you accept the light. Suffering doesn't see this. When it does, why not surrender to the experience, the peace? Oh boy. Suffering. Why you suffer, first of all? Why do you suffer? What was the pain? You're missing something somewhere. Maybe you're missing yourself, or maybe you invest so much within yourself and now you didn't get anything back as a promise or whatever it is. Suffering. You need to understand with the suffering, that's where the secret, the hidden part of God is. Because through suffering, you learn more than just you go out there and be in the light. You will not expand the light if you don't go into the darkness. Always been like this, always is. And that's how you shine the things from within yourself. Medically wise, talking about firing of the mirror neurons that they fire up the subconscious of you. And now you know things that, guess what? You thought about it, but now you know it. So there is a difference between your thought that you had a slightly subconscious thing when you meditate, and now when you awakened and you're subconscious, now it's conscious and you know things. But you went through the suffering, right? That's what this is. The suffering is the hidden face of God tries to tell you the things that you resist. And when you resist things, guess what happens? You suffer. And that's what this is. Experiencing the not surrender to experiencing the peace. If you're someone who doesn't have a peace from within themselves and they bring war to you, and you ain't gonna have a peace. You can't surrender to a peace when they have a war within themselves. That war within themselves is the origination of problem. Not that you do not surrender to the peace. You surrender to the peace. You want the peace. But if the peace is disrupted because of somebody else's issues, not your own, guess what? That's what goes. It all has to do with a lot of human basic behaviors. You know, everything goes back into that point. If you haven't learned something and your human basic behaviors, your relationship will show them off. And you will understand what this is. Yin cannot exist without yang. One cannot exist without darkness. Yes. And that's what when they unite, they create. Exactly. When the dark and light meet together in a mutual agreement, they become creations of God. That's what this is. When it does, and why not surrender to experience of peace? Why not surrender to that peace? Well, in a war, there is two parties. There's a mutual agreement. But if there is no mutual agreement of mutuality, cooperation, there won't be no peace. Okay? There will be no peace. Love is not a contract. You guys need to understand this. Love is an affair of the soul. If using your ego and try to making love just so you can have a peace or some other things or possessions or whatever the case might be, that's not love. That is your ego wants to satisfy itself. Love is an affair of the soul. Sex is not intimacy. Intimacy is affair in the soul within the body. And that's what the peace coming from. When you have internal peace in the soul, that affairs between two individuals, when they are both souls breathing the internal peace within the universe. And that's what the inner peace is. That's deep, very deep. What is written in the dark cannot be seen without the light. Yes, shine the light into it, accept it, even if you find no acceptance. The power of blood needs our acceptance. Yes, exactly. Acceptance. But what are you accepting? If you don't know what you're accepting, or if you are manipulate to accept something and exactly turns out to be a different. So, for example, somebody comes in with this tangerine, okay, and it says, well, this is a orange. And you believe it's orange because it's huge, right? Almost like a small orange looks like. Guess what? You peel that off, you eat it, and the taste is not the same. And you're like, what do you give it to me? Give me this tangerine? Would you accept the tangerine as an orange that you were promised? That's we're talking about acceptance. It begins again with the human behaviors. I felt that peace with the near death experience. Lisa, yes, I did that too. I went through the probably the nastiest dark night of the soul that maybe some of you is going to experience. That dark night of the soul is when I rejected the divine. I wanted to cut the cord with the divine. I was mad at God. I was swearing at God. I was like, God, you don't want to see me. But guess what? If you see me in the mirror, I was all yellow like a dead person. And I couldn't survive. I crashed in the sofa and I woke up 7 hours later. And when I waked up, everything was renewed inside of me. At that moment, I become the TF. I was reborn. But I acted because there was no information about twin flames. I acted because that love inside of me was so huge, I can't hide it. It was causing me a pain. I don't want it anymore. That was the moment when I decided to go ahead and open up this help of people, not to get to the state of that dark night of the soul. That's what keeps me going until today. I will keep on going until I get whatever I need to get it done. But the lack of knowledge, lack of understanding, lack of energies, that will lead us into disasters because we are not aware of this. And the lack of awareness or lack of denial of the truth, that leads to disasters. The truth without judgment. Ask this: do you accept that you in the story of your twin flame connection, the truth about judgment? Why call judgment? First of all, judgment. You need to understand I'm a Libra, and guess what? Lee's a Libra too. So here is we're talking about Libra energy here, talking about judgment. Do you think that judgment will exist if it wasn't made? Do you think the divine doesn't judge you on the basis of your lies and the truths and everything? Why are you getting to this point of judgments from within yourself? What is a judgment? And what is the judgmentality has to do with it? Why the Timido, which is represents Libras, is blindfolded? Okay. And truth without judgment. The truth without judgment is the actions. Somebody shows you their true face with their actions, they talking a lot about the words behind. Okay. And when you follow the people's actions, then what That's what shows off. Okay, your actions during anger. If you need to look at the angers issues, those angers, okay, specifically on my connections I'm talking about, since it is about this and a twin flame connection. If someone, for example, have a personal issue, they have some situations and so on, and they talking to you about something else, but not for the real problem. Somebody tells you things just so they can get the reaction from you, kind of like a forcing you to be angry at them. And later on, they expect this part of you to be angry so they can find an excuse for their actions. That's called something different, and you can call judgment on that. Okay, you can call the judgment on this. All right, because now actions speak about the judgment of truth. But how this affecting the twin flame connection is about everyone sees through the actions the truth from within and what they need to do. There is no better benefits for twin flames than separation. And some of you is going to be like, what are you talking about, Dio? That's what I'm talking about here. You are separated because you have things that will damage the gift of God gives you. God puts you together, put you on that bubble of love that you are ready to do anything to get that love. But guess what? He's going to test you. Are you ready to give everything about that love? But if you do something without you understanding what you need to do, or the reason for some things that you need to do, then that creates issues, and then the judgment it's called. And usually that is like you go into a court and you get a divorce. Why you go to judge? It's the same thing within the twin flame connections. That's why 90% of the people out there in the separation process, 90% out of the twin flame soulmates and so on, they look how to unite, but they don't understand what it takes to be united. And they understand what's today to be united into the separation when they begin to value what they lost, when they begin to understand what it was with them and without it, when you understand the deeper meaning of love, when you understand, do you really love that person deep in your heart, deep in your soul? That's what determines that separation process. That's how this affecting this. That's what the judgment like existing in there. In the religions, it's called the Judgment Day, okay, or wherever you want to look into it, on all the religions that exist, that like the God's gonna punish you. God's bless you with this. God's blessing you with this because through the disconnect, you understand and value what was the connection, what was the reconnect to this. Lee, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You went through that route. Uh, okay, balance Libra Gemini twin with Cherry. Yeah. Does the truth know what judgment is? Yes. The truth understand the purpose of the judgment because the truth it's naked. And guess what? The truth won't be afraid to become naked on the front because everyone judges. Ha ha ha! You naked. You have no clothes. You guys know the clothes story with the lice and the truth when they went to have a bath together, and then the truth took the clothes of the truth, and he covered herself, and now the truth was all naked. Okay. The truth, when it comes out, doesn't give a damn about judgment. But the judgment comes in to shows up the lie, cover it within clothes. And that's what most of the things that we have to do is cut off those clothes. It is about you to be vulnerable. That's what this is coming from. And it's internal judgment from within yourself. Are you going to decide to be a vulnerable or not? Okay. That's what the part of masculine is. Okay. Let me get to this a little bit. All right. Most of the feminine side, they don't have that power to be vulnerable. Okay. They don't. Vulnerability is a masculine energy. It coexists within the man and the females, but usually doesn't take that much time. All right. Let me tell you, on my job, regular job, I see a lot of males when they do something. Well, for example, they break a machine and they like, I broke it. It's not my fault. Okay. We know they broke it. You know they broke it. But guess what? They don't have the balls to say, I broke it. Okay. But the real man goes in there and says, like, you know what? It's my fault. I broke it. That's what happened. That's what the story is. That's what it is. And guess what? Are they going to judge you on the truth? No. But guess what? You go out there and you say, I didn't broke it. And everybody knows you broke it. Guess what? Now everybody's judging you. You're a liar. And that's what this is about it. A lot of the females, okay, let me tell you, there was quite a few stories here for it that everyone looks the male when the male was aggravated. And later on, they find out that the real reason was the female that they were in a relationship because she was kind of like forcing you to be angry. So she cannot be her fault. We talk about here, there was like situation here in the town that I was for it. In our town, we have one kind of like a bridge that goes over the Black Sea as the people jump from it. And yeah, but that's what this is, vulnerability, the truth from within, the warrior from within. A lot of the feminine, they have to get this masculine energy that they have, okay? But that masculine energy was suppressed from within. The truth warrior, the samurai, that's what that comes from, okay? It's that vulnerability of you to be vulnerable makes you more powerful. The vulnerability within the masculine energy creates this incredible part. Then the feminine takes that truth and the feminine becomes real. The feminine, it's not afraid anymore to say what she wants. Instead of the feminine goes in there doing it sneaky way, I will do this and then he's gonna do that. And after that, I wanna do this and then he's gonna do that. Okay, that's the feminine energy. Okay. But when the feminine comes in, it's like, I know the truth. I don't have to do all those sneaky stuff. That is a bad cord. I need a cut. And the masculine goes in there and says, like, I need to be vulnerable and open. I don't have to be this afraid what my wife is going to say. Guess what? He becomes true. She becomes true. And now they're true lovers. You get that part in there, but it begins with the masculine energy of vulnerability within them. That's what this is. All right, guys, let's see. Oh, wow. CJ, we will be doing another episode soon. Looking forward. Going to watch the link, share a story, and connection. Book love. Great story. Looking for. Finally caught you alive, Crow Girl. Thank you for all you do. Good vibes headed your way for 526. Thank you, Crow Girl. I appreciate it. And now pretty much to go and close this session. And what I want to leave you with this is decide to begin a new cycle from within. Okay. Now we have this Moon, Mars, Jupiter, and Neptune comes together on that point of end of the old, beginning of the new. All right. One becomes stronger with each other, every truth to be told. There we go. Sea of Tech, you totally get in it. 100%. That's what this is. But quite a few people doing it. Understanding is not like doing it. You may talk the talk, but do you walk the walk is the end of it. We talk about it, the desires, they come from ego, and they usually end up with bad results. But the things you do from your soul and they connect with the truth and the divine, they manifest things. That's what it's coming from. Oh my God, another question. Hi, Helen. I see your question. I know twin flame who have been interfered with by jealousy, psychics, and they have been attacked by black magic. Why so much jealousy? Do you know why the other people are jealous of the twin flames? The light we carry within us. The beautiful divine love light that they trying to achieve, and they think that they can just come and take as a possession. That love, it's gift. They have it within them, but they are lazy to do the work they need to do to become the divine being. And now you're jealous because they can't do it. That's what jealousy is. Yeah. And guess what? We give them for free. And guess what? They're still jealous because they don't possess it. Why they don't possess it? Because they disconnect from God, from the source, from the love. They're on disconnect. Rightly, if you're here, that's what the jealousy is. Everyone wants to have the love with the vibes and the soul within them. But nobody wants to put the work on it to get it. Why? They don't want to suffer. They don't want to look deep down. They think they're perfect. They have maybe this grandiosity part in them that they're perfect. But guess what? Their perfections ends when they meet you, the twin flame. They feel that love in the soul, and now they're like, holy crap, now I'm jealous. I may have 10 cars, I may have 10, but I don't have this. It's not a material thing like everything else. Usually people who are jealous are very much attached to the material life, to things that, somehow they can go pay money and get it. Those are the people who usually they're very jealous. But when they sees you and it's internally possessions of your own self, now they're like, what are you going? And if they lose a psychiatry, psychic attacks, or they're using black magic and so on, well, the divine is going to put you through this door of the truth, and guess what? No magic can be detecting you. And divine puts divine protections over you, and guess what? Nothing that somebody else's ego base crap can touch you. They might touch your body, they might kill you there and do everything, but the divine love within the soul is yours. You evolved to this position. That is something nobody can take it away from you. And that's why people are jealous. They cannot have something you do. Uh, okay, here it's coming up more and more. Um, Being attacked by why so much jealousy? I already explained this. Parasitic inconsistent energies interfere all the time, like months of light. I want to say something here. The biggest thing that you're going to get through it, it is about, man, I'm open up for another life. Maybe we can talk with Lee about this in the chat, more about it. You need to understand without total opposition and come to a mutual agreement, there will be no creation, proper creation. I don't know how to put it to you. The dark entities or the dark people, the dark situations, they are your opposite of your light. They invite you to come to the darkness so you can shine the light from within them. But at the same time, you attract to the darkness so you can expose the darkness from within yourself to fire up more the light from within. Okay? That's how the yin works. That's why the white has a dark dot from within, and that's how the darkness has the white dot from within. Because what you need in your center is that what you attract, but then you're transmuting into a darkness. So most of the time, instead of creating something, the darkness takes the light and creates more darkness instead of being stupid to figure it out. It is about creation. It's not about create more darkness. But when the light sees more darkness through the suffering, the light actually shines more bright and expanding, and that's how it creates a growth. So if you take a look at both two situations, if it does individuals who just harm each other and they evolve in the separation part, they will harm another person or they will do something. Okay, you need to understand the light harming the dark. That is a bad thing. Yep, you as the light, you're going against the darkness. What are you doing to the darkness? The same thing what the darkness does to the light. You never knew that, do you? Okay, too much light from within the darkness. It's not. There's got to be a mutual agreement. And that's what Twin Flames does. They have mutual agreements to look at dark and the light at the same time. Okay, depends of your human basic behaviors that terminated this. Mutual receptions, yes. Union. That's what the union states for it. To unite two opposite things. All right, let's look at it here. What the great pain comes with great pain comes a great growth. If you want to allow themselves to live in the truth and stay away from ego. Exactly, CF. Totally agree with you. Isn't them that does that to you? If the pain body are they abandoning? The pain body. What is your pain though? What it hurts in you? Uh, Mentally, the psychologist is gonna say that what hurts in you is the mental picture you're putting inside of yourself, or it was printed out with your other side. And now that mental picture, what they printed, when they say, I'm like this, I'm like that, I will do this, and I'm always doing this, and I'll do that. And now that picture, it's broken out from the actions for it. Okay, now that creates the pain with from within you, in your psyche, okay, world. But abandoning your pain body, the pain body has to do a lot with the ego, okay, because the ego wants things. That's what you're going to look at it. On the soul level, because we have a vibes, when we invest in the vibes within a psyche, guess what? Our soul vibes hurts, but there also those soul vibes are connecting within the ego that tries to protect you, and you learn there is something else within the soul vibes is the same thing like the words, and that's what this is. And CF, thank you for your inputs. Sending you a big ball of love now. All the adult expectation coming up again. Pain is creative energy. Growth, love, and birth of death are greater truth with. It's the vast energy and connection. It doesn't know what thought is. Thought is in your mind. Your mind is giving you as a CPU processor of everything comes in and goes out. That's it. Now, if you kind of like using your mind to control you, there's a lot of problems. But if you use um, your everything that goes around, because of the proper inputs to the mind, there's going to be a proper actions out of the mind. Because in the mind, you put in informations from divine energies, physical 3Ds, and you're putting also experiences that you have. They're all connected into the mind, okay? But that is the input information. So if you put the right input into the information, there's going to be the right output that's going to come out, okay, with the thoughts. And that's why whatever you thought, that's what you become, that's what you attract, okay? Um, at the same time, though, if you evolve enough to understand that some of those inputs, okay, they are not the right thing that you're feeding yourself, guess what? It's the same thing like the food. You're not going to eat stones, right? You're going to eat fruits. But sometimes you don't figure it out that you're feeding your mind with stones instead of with food. You can't have connection without pain. If you don't love your pain, why would you let yourself be connected to? Connection, disconnections again. If you can't have connection without pain, what would have happened, Lee, if you have a connection without pain but only with bliss with God? That's the first thing. Kind of like I want to have a question for you. And what will be the other thing if you don't love your pain? Why would you let yourself to connect it to be? Why would you want to love your pain? You have a core attached to your own pain. Why you don't cut that cord with the pain and attach your cord to the love? What would that be? Paradise on earth? Are you afraid to be a paradise on earth? Maybe. What could have happened if everything is divinely happiness? You might not gonna have everything. You might not everything's gonna be the way you want, but no pain. What could have happened if there will be no pain? No evolution? No, you evolve to a point that you understand that pain doesn't prevent you for deeper connection with God. You're not causing pain to others, but at the same time, you don't take pain anymore. What could have happened then? Grow. You grow within divine. The divine wants you to suffer. Yeah, divine wants you to suffer because you are not evolved. But once you evolve to a certain point in a certain situation, guess what? All you want, all your focus is on one thing: inner peace. But you can't have an inner peace if you have a pain. So here we go, contradictions again. And that's what this is. Until we don't understand that our basic human behaviors, they're transferred to the basic behaviors within the soul. You cause the pain to someone as a childhood, or somebody give you a pain as a childhood. Now you transfer that experience into your soul experience. And that's what a lot of the people now in the twin flame suffer. Can you be without the pain? Did you have a friends when in the childhood that you have a great memories? You never had any pain with them. It's the same thing now. You have a friends that you never have a pain with them now. Why is that? Can be like this. You have a friends that, man, you love to see them all the time. And that is what one of the pitfalls within us as a core that we have from within. We attach everything with pain. Pain, birthed connection. Connection, birthed pain. Pain doesn't have a story. Pain, birthed connection. I fell in love with the me inside of my pain. Well, you fell in love with it because the pain put you the road back to you, Ali, and you fall in love with yourself. Why'd you have to fall in love with the pain? Could you fall in love with the love within you? That process, that the time that you loved yourself, but not the pain that leads you to that love. Because if you fall in love with the pain, you're going to attract more love, more pain in you. That's something to think about it. Our twin flame connection point this to me. Yes, twin flame connection points everything. Ooh, that's what we talked about yesterday. It's like yesterday or the other day. That was about the why would you want to meet your twin flame? You gotta have a death wish. Yes, death of what? Everything that doesn't serve you anymore. The pain can serve you to a certain level, but to the real bliss, you can't have a bliss and a pain at the same time. The divine bliss from within, the divine bliss when you put your twin flame, the divine bliss with when the two souls are breathing together within the universe. There is a pain in there anywhere? Is there is a pain? No. But why we attach it to this? Because that is the one thing we got used to it, to the pain. Give a pain and take a pain or make a pain because that way we can teach people or do people and so on. Yes, we still have to work on this. I work on this. We're all working on this pain. We all have that pain from within. Just to learn that we have to do things with love, not with pain. Not a death wish more than like a birth wish. If you don't love the, okay. Not a death wish more like a birth wish. Death wish. Oh, God. A lot of the people want to die. They don't want to suffer because of the pain. Um, that's including me, right? Okay. But would you have a wish um, to live in bliss and be grateful for everything you have in life? Somebody gives you pain, be the mirror, give them back the pain. Let them deal with their pain. Why they want to give it to you? Okay, somebody wants to lie to you, give them the lie. Let them lie themselves. Maybe that's what they were doing all their life. Let their folks their mirror. But you have to decide what you want to do with yourself. So that's what this is. Same thing with death. It's only another rebirth, another crash. That's what a lot of the couples, when they begin the twin flames and they crash, they disconnect, they totally disconnect this power for it. That's what this is. It's death, internal death of the soul. And you need to understand the death of the soul begins with you don't listen to your soul, you disconnect with your soul, you don't feel your soul. And that's what some of the people do. Uh, I mean, the internal death is described in the Bible. And but if you and then you get in a pain. But if you connect your soul and you get your things and you're grateful for everything you have and everything you do, it doesn't matter the circumstances. Guess what? You connect with your soul and or you look, it's the inner peace. What you look and you put the input from you as inner peace within your soul, that's what you're beginning to attract because the inner soul heals everything. As I said before, the soul knows how to heal itself. Problem is to shut off the mind. But how you shut off the mind, it is by you put the informations in your mind. I'm healing, I'm working, I'm removing the old things. I cut these bad things from me. I give them with grace. I let them go and I surrender to the divine. That's what the surrender to the divine is. Process. Oh man, we already 2 hours chat here. All right, guys. Would you have seen your connection to yourself without a TF connection? That's a faster road question for it from Lee. If I give back this TF connection and it is not over hearing them, but I want to keep the spiritual awakening craving, and I'm grateful for that. Very good question, Lee. Would you have seen your connection to yourself without the TF? Because the TF brings the connection back to yourself. Kind of like little step into it for it, but that's what this is. Sorry, Dio. It's all good stuff. Cigarette number 2 for me. I was just thinking about it. I was just thinking to have a cigarette because seems like this chat it's beautiful thing, and that's how we have this chat things that helps out. Okay, and I hope we're gonna continue doing some more and more of these chats for it. So Lee, please. Set up something to do, but my timing in 5 hours, I have an astrology reading for. So let's make something like within 2 hours from now, and I can participate in your Zoom call, and we can do things for it. So that's what's gonna be. And I want to close this chat, guys, with one thing. I want to leave you with it. Be the soldier of love within you. There is a one clip I put it in the Facebook on Sade, and she's talking about something very important right after the song. All right, I'm not telling you what she said because it's her words, not mine. And taking her words as resonated from within you. But the song, Soldier of Love, it's something that's what you're here for. Okay, guys? Use this energy of Mars that entering now areas begin to be a new soldier of love from within. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, Lee.